Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be concluding the last episode in the mini-series of how to make a manifold, and today we are going to be fitting one of these. It looks like a wastegate. We covered that in the last episode, but today we are going to be fitting an anti-lag valve. So how do we go about fitting this valve? Well, firstly, obviously you need to get one of them. And then you need to get one of these which is going to be suitable for your engine. Now this goes onto the end of here, and this will have the same number of holes as you have cylinders on your engine. Now I have seen this done with half the amount, but I think that it's probably best to have one for each of the runners. So the idea of fresh air anti-lag is you are providing fresh air directly into each one of the runners on your manifold, and then with a rich mixture coming through the engine which is unignited, it then mixes in the manifold and ignites in there because it's obviously hot already. That makes a combustion and obviously expands the gas, spins the turbine wheel and gives you boost. So that's a very watered down explanation of how this system works. If you do want to find out more, there are a few videos online on YouTube that explains it slightly better than I probably have done, but that gives you a bit of a gist of what we're doing here. So I need to attach this valve to each one of these runners, and what I intend to do, instead of welding a bit of pipe directly onto each one of the runners, I want the option to remove it if I need to. So I've decided to use some of these, and this is compression fitting made out of 304 stainless, and what I've actually done is on the lathe I've trimmed it down so it is a nice little weld-on bung essentially. So I've marked out on the manifold where each one of these are going to go. So basically all I've got to do is drill those out, weld these in position, decide where I want to put the valve, and then join it with these bits of pipe, which I am bending myself on my little trusty eBay bender, which is just there. It actually makes quite a good job of that. Used it quite a lot in the past. So yeah, that's the plan. I'll get the drill these out. And there we are, all 4 ports fully welded. Okay, so the head is out the car, and you can see I've made a start on these pipes here. So hopefully this is making a bit more sense now. The valve fits onto this V-band adapter here. These pipes run down to the runners, and then there's a compression fitting down here to link it all together. I'll cut these off to length and weld the inside, and then I'll be able to bolt the anti-lag valve onto the end here. And then if I want to, I can undo these compression fittings and remove the whole lot, which will make life easier for things like maintenance if I need to get in here for whatever reason and I need to remove that and get it out of the way. I could also run the car without it completely, but I'd have to get some caps for these to close off the system. But yeah, it's looking fairly neat. I've just got to do this one here and this one here, the more tricky ones, so they can come up and over and join in at the top there. Almost bloody perfect. Swish. Let's cut that back there. That went a bit smoother than I thought it was going to be. I thought that was going to be a right pain in the ass, but yeah, that's worked really well, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly where I wanted it, just inside the end of the head, because I don't want it sticking right at the back. There is a bit of a space here, you'll see, but yeah, obviously before I cut this to length and weld it all together, I'm going to test that in the car, but I think that looks pretty smart actually. I'm quite happy with that. So now it's in the engine bay, you can kind of see where this is meant to go. However, I've got these reservoirs kind of in the way, so I want to slide this back a little bit, but the problem that I've got is my bender doesn't put a particularly tight radius on these, and this last one here is preventing it from going back in, and I only need a little bit more clearance. I mean, it would probably fit with that cut back and fitted properly. One thing to mention, these don't need to be exactly in this position. I've only just put them in there, and I actually only need 2 of these now. I'm going to try and use the die grinder to modify this a little bit, just so I can get a little bit more clearance. So I only need this back another 10 mil or so. I'll fettle with that and see if I can make it fit a little bit better. And there we go, all cut back, a lot of fettling. I ended up remaking this last one here. You can see it's got a bit of an S bend, so I could move this back further, and I've got plenty of clearance there. It shouldn't be getting hot anyway. And yeah, I'll put the turbo on, and looking at where I'm going to be routing this pipe. So this here, I've got a flange that matches this, and that needs to be fed with compressed air from this pipe. So basically it's going to go around here, snake round and into this pipe. How good does that look? Now, I am over the moon with how well this has turned out, and I know it's taken me on and off over a year to make this, but I have been doing quite a lot of other things in the background, at work, home life and stuff like that. So considering this is my very first manifold and the first time I've ever done an Antilag valve, I am ecstatic with it. I know it's taken quite a few attempts and quite a lot of hard work and late nights to get this done, but yeah, it just makes it so much better, and hopefully the next one I'm making for this car is only going to be quite a quick one. But that's pretty much it for how to make a manifold with Antilag. Really hope you've enjoyed not just this video but the rest of the how to make a manifold mini series. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so. If you've got any questions, please drop them in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one.